I got it probably, I think maybe 6 months ago, and it is a big investment, but it's made my life a lot easier and a lot quicker. I get home from work probably about 8 o'clock most nights, so I can have dinner ready, cooked from scratch in an hour, sometimes half an hour depending on what I'm cooking, and we've been pretty impressed with everything that we've had from the Thermomix as far as quality of food. We really do like food in this house, so we haven't really had any complaints. We've loved it. It's stopped us from buying takeaway on the nights where we just can't be bothered to cook. There's not really any excuse because you're just not having to do anything. And you know, the cooking time, when it's stirring, it's doing everything, I'm kicking back waiting for my dinner to be cooked. So I do love my Thermomix. I don't always cook in it, but I will use it to chop, or I'll use it to make my nut butters, steam veggies, steam fish. Make hummus, makes the best hummus, or I make the best hummus in that. So Thermomix is an awesome investment, or if you do it on the interest-free finance or whatever, save up for it, ask for birthday money for your birthday for the next few years. But I do love mine, and everyone I know loves them. So that's my big baby. That's my favorite piece of equipment. Then my other things, this is just something random, but this is what we use to store our limes and lemons in the fridge. So rather than using Glad wrap or a plastic bag or whatever you might use, this is just washable, reusable, and it keeps your half a lemon or quarter of a lemon nice and fresh. So if you do lemon and warm water in the morning, that you can keep the other half in that. I think I just got it at Howard Storage or somewhere like that. And then the other thing is my apple corer and apple slicer. So I just did a video just now and did it on double time. So now I've got 2 apples for afternoon tea. But basically you take one organic apple and you pop it over, there's a hole in the middle, so you pop that down over the core and you push. And then you get these lovely little segments of apple that you can enjoy, and it takes the core out for you. So then you can just chuck that away. So that is awesome. We use that pretty much every day. I can imagine if you had kids, you'd be using that a lot so that you can cut up their apple nicely for them. Put some nut butter on it for afternoon tea. And then the other thing that I use quite a bit is my Bossi Veggie twister. I think Alison has a countertop one that she'll show you in her video where you wind it and it brings the noodles out, and I think they're probably a lot quicker. You can probably do a higher quantity with a lot less time involved. However, if you're new to the veggie twisting world, I think these are a good place to start because they don't take up much room. You're not buying an expensive gadget that's going to sit in your cupboard and never be used and just take up space and collect dust. It's nice and small. You can store it in your cupboard or in a drawer. And if you don't use it, it doesn't really matter. Other than this, I'd use a julienne peeler. I've seen some people use them, or when I first started doing it, I used a grater until I knew that it was something that I really wanted to be doing, and then I got my Bossi. So this one does your thin noodles, which is what I did in the double time video, but this time I'll do the flat noodles so that you can see that one as well. So basically you just pop that onto the spikes. So this is a zucchini. You can do sweet potato, you can do other veggies, and then you just twist. And it doesn't take any elbow grease. The kids can do this. You can do it. You can get anyone with 2 arms to do it. And there's your flat noodles coming out. So I usually just break mine off every so often so that my noodles don't get too long. And you just twist, 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 and they keep twisting out. And then once that's done, you just pop your next piece on and keep going. So nice and easy, nice and quick, no effort involved. You know, if you're doing this for 4 people's worth of zucchinis, then your arm does get a little bit sore because that is a lot of twisting. But definitely a great place to start. So that's the Bossi veggie twister, and they're delicious. Oh, you can do them raw, you can steam them, you can fry them, however you like. But I eat them raw a lot of the time, and they're yummy. So they're my few little gadgets that I can't live without, as well as my juicer that I make the nut milk with. And that's the end of my kitchen tour. So thanks for stopping by.
Hey again. So now I wanted to show you some of my favourite kitchen gadgets. So the first one I'm going to show you is this one, which is a mandolin. So this is really convenient for when you're wanting to slice something really finely. And this one has a julienning attachment. So you just flip this lever here, and then it will actually sort of put the spikes up and down. So it has a lock feature. So when you put it away, you won't be able to accidentally slice your fingertip off when you're reaching into your drawer. And then it just has the different thicknesses. So you can see, I don't know if you can see the little spikes come out. So that's really good for when you're wanting to finely slice things for coleslaw, when you're wanting to julienne any carrots for salad, that sort of thing as well. Can't live without my garlic crusher. I usually just put in a whole garlic clove and then just smash it in. You don't need to peel it. This little guy is an Avo Saver. So when you cut your avocado in half, you just put it face down so the seed goes in the hole, and then you buckle him in, and it helps to stop the outside from going brown, so you can have your avocado sitting around for a long time. Not that that's a problem for everyone. And this is my egg timer, so my egg perfect egg timer. So you put it in the water when you're boiling an egg at the same time, so it doesn't matter whether the water is hot or cold to begin with, and then it will actually change colour. So I don't know if you can see, but the little the dashes there, a black spot in the middle will start to come out, and then it'll tell you when your egg's done. So that's perfect. If you're just getting into cooking, then I'd highly recommend getting a set of good quality chef's knives, because it just makes your life so much easier when you're trying to cut up some veggies. You just don't want to be fussing around with knives that aren't really cutting through easily, and you want to find a set that has a really good grip. So these ones are the Fury ones, and I love them, but everyone's got their own personal preference, so have a look at the shops and see which one sort of feels better in your hands. So the other thing that I wanted to show you is my dehydrator. So this is really helpful for making snacks with. You can make dried fruit with it, you can make jerky with it, you can make fruit leather with it. So you just sort of put it into a thin layer and put it onto the trays. If you've got something that's going to make a lot of mess, you can actually put some baking paper down beforehand. But I use this a lot in summer and I love it. So I've just got the Homewell brand, but there's a lot of different types out there. And this little guy is my Spiraliser. So I love him during summer for making zucchini noodles. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to do it. So you can get a lot of different types of Spiralisers, like little handheld ones. But I wanted to get this one because it's so fast. So you just put the flat end on this hole here, line up the spikes with the other end, clamp it down with the suction cups, and then you just apply pressure using this handle and start spinning. Boil. So you've got different settings as well. That was a fairly thick setting. You've got one that if you want to just make flat noodles with, and then this is usually what I would use for the normal zucchini noodles, but it wasn't on today. And then you're left with a zucchini core, which usually I give to my dog. Here you go.